Hello and welcome to another edition of Life After Kids with Dr. Brooke
and Dr. Lynne.
How are you guys today? We are coming to you from Arizona and we are outside in the sunshine and life is good.
Life is wonderful in the sun. So, the heat.
That's right. I know. I love it. We just wanted to take some time over the next few videos to talk to you guys about our 4 foundations. So remember, those are purpose,
Resilience,
vitality,
and beauty.
Yeah, and today we're talking about purpose, which is the first foundation. And I have mentioned before that this is
It's
Dr.
my favorite
Lynn's.
one.
It is your favorite. It's
Yep.
your wheelhouse. And let's just take a couple of minutes to break down why is purpose so important.
Yeah, I think that for me, it's really, if you go back, some people are born with these talents that are validated by the world. So if you're a person who can get up on stage easily, or you're just that charismatic person who can really easily relate to people or make jokes, I think it's easy to have, and maybe not, but I always looked at people like that and thought, well, that's not me, and I want to be that. And so for a long time, I spent a lot of wasted time trying to be something that I wasn't. And because I didn't see the value in what it was that I was uniquely talented in. And what I did in probably my 30s, it really just opened up this whole avenue of self-love, for lack of a better word, where I didn't have to try to be something that I wasn't. Yeah. And once I figured that out, everything else in my life came into place. I had been working out. I had been, working on my outer beauty or my inner beauty. But until you get that pillar correct and in line with who you are, and you have really deep confidence around it, I think that it's a piece that deserves a lot of attention.
Yeah, I agree. And I the other thing here is that all of our foundations, they sort of like overlap.
They absolutely do.
And for me, I've talked about my struggle with resilience or emotional health, and when I had a better sense and more clarity around purpose and what I have to bring to the world, that helps me show up better in the world, and it also helps me with my emotional health because I have a place to put my energy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So that's been huge for me, is just taking a step back and figuring out, like, where are my strengths? Where are my gifts?
Yeah.
How do I fit in? What do I have to offer the world? And also the other thing is, for me anyway, when you find a purpose and something you can give to the world, now it takes everything, the focus off of me and all of my problems, and puts the focus on what can I do for everybody else, or what can I do for someone else, or how
next
can I
layer
serve?
in life, right? That's just the greatest expression of us as humans, is being in that space where we're contributing back.
Yeah.
So, and I also think in this season of life, so, we're not in our 20s and our 30s, and many of us are thinking, I know who I am, I like who I am. But I do think that it gives a lot of clues, because when you are off purpose, those are the signs when you're restless, when you are not, you're bored, you're maybe numbing a little bit more. We've talked about that. And I now know from a maintenance place that if I am feeling bored, I go to my purpose and I look around and I reflect on what am I not doing in my purpose right now actively, and then give that a little love and attention and time.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay, I'll give just a real quick example on that, because we want to get specific as well. But for me, learning is, and we just talked about that on social media this week, learning is actually one of my talents. It can be a talent. We don't think of it like that, but I'm a voracious, avid learner. And how I apply that is, in our home or our business, I'll find a track of something that we need to bring in, whether it's analytics or maybe I need to help my daughter research Mexican cockroaches. I don't know. But I'm going to take that and we're going to dive into that, and I'm going to be that person that can bring that into the table and bring that to the group. Yeah. So I know now, and my husband even knows this, that if I'm not learning something, that I get a little bit restless and I'm picking on people and I'm cleaning a little too much.
I've witnessed to that.
So that's my point is, what are you have to know exactly what it is, so that when you are feeling those feelings of lacking or emotionally anxious, or
Yep.
whatever it might be, to look there first.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, what I was thinking about just a couple of minutes ago was, this is a tricky stage of life because our purpose is probably shifting. And I think that's okay too. Like, your purpose can be
Such a
different
good
with your
point.
stage of life. And, we're getting to a different age, and we're transitioning, like most of us. I know me and you, our kids are getting older and they're getting, ready to go off on their own or else go to college or whatever it is. They're becoming more independent. So now, where our purpose for me was, so much of my purpose was like, what can I do for my kids? And not that I'm not still there for my kids, but now it's like, okay, what is Brooke's purpose? Like,
Right.
Brooke's purpose, not Brooke the mom,
Yeah.
but Brooke, like, now I've got time for
Yeah.
myself. What can I give back to the world, and how can I use that time
Yeah.
wisely?
And, to use myself as an example in this, some of us have careers that have been very productive and very fulfilling.
Sure.
But we get to this stage and we look back and we think, okay, I've mastered that. What's next? And that's a tricky situation, because if you really don't know how you're wired, how you're talented,
Yep.
that's a risky situation to just jump into something, because the truth is whatever you're jumping into, we say find the thing that you love and then go do more of that.
Yep.
But that might not be the thing that you should be getting paid for.
That
might be the thing that you should be doing as a hobby.
Yep.
And so getting very specific around those talents helps you to know, so you can really take calculated risks
Yeah.
around changing it.
Yeah, so it
Figuring it
sounds like what you're saying is, when you're working with your purpose or figuring out what your purpose is, the key is to understanding and knowing yourself and your talents better, right? Because once you understand yourself, you can better figure out not only where you fit in, but what's going to light you up, and how you're going to serve people better, because
Yeah.
it's like you're excited about.
Yeah, so I think there's two really important things. It's how you're wired from birth, usually.
Yep.
Or, from a very young age. And two, what's your coping mechanism?
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that when we talk about Enneagram.
Yep.
But, how do you cope? How do you default? Who are you when you're stressed? Who are you when you're healthy? And we're going to help you identify those things and get really crystal clear around that, so that then you can dive into your purpose, and hey, that's your best track for the most success and most fulfillment.
That's right.
In your life.
So with that, be sure, number one, we apologize for the wobbly screen
Well,
and for being outside. But listen, sometimes you've got to make the best
Pattern
and
disrupt.
do things on the fly. Yes. So anyway, make sure that you're tuning in every week to a new episode of Life After Kids with Dr. Brooke and Dr. Lynne. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and soon to be TikTok, if not already. And definitely join the conversation and subscribe, so that you're getting these videos in your inbox every Sunday.
And make sure you comment and tell us what you want more of,
Yeah.
what you want to see less of. We're here to tailor that conversation for your needs.
That's right.
All right.
Have a good one.
Good night.